Hello, everyone. Once again, you're welcome to FTGFS Lounge. And basically, what we do is that we have conversation with industry players, okay, people who know what it is when it comes to financial market trading and all. And today, I have one of the key players. So in Ghana, in Ghana entertainment industry, we do call some people gatekeepers. So when you get to Nigeria financial markets industry or trading, he's one of the gatekeepers, and he goes by the name Yemi Olaleye. Maybe I didn't pronounce it, so he will do that well. And when it comes to
Okay.
Ghana and Nigeria, we have a lot of things that we do argue about, especially the Ghana Jollof and Nigerian Jollof. But this time around, this time around, we are going to talk more about trading, how to make some money to enable us do the right or the tasty jollof and all of that. Yemi is a financial markets analyst. He has worked with different brokers, Hantech for 4 years as a client partner, education executive. He is currently he's a market analyst at Investlo. And one thing I like about him is that on LinkedIn, the content that he puts out, he nails, like, he says the right thing. Okay, unlike the influencers who say, "Oh, flashy cars, flashy this, da 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 da." He says the right thing, and that is part of the reason why we had to get him on this platform. And we are honored to have him because I know he's a busy guy, and he has, given us part of his time. So, Yemi, once again, you're welcome. Happy New Year,
Thank
brother.
you. Thank you very much. Happy New Year to you too. I wish you a fantastic 2025 and it's going to be a great
R-
one for everyone of us. Thank you very
Right.
much, sir.
Right. I hope I mentioned the name well.
All right, so my name is Yemi Olaleye.
Okay.
You've tried. Yemi Olaleye.
Ah. Right.
So,
So how did 2024 go? How was the trading industry in terms of trading, in terms of the business part of it? How your impact in the industry so far? I know you are doing things in Africa, Nigeria, and all. How has it been, or how was it in 2024?
okay, so basically 2024 was a fantastic year for me and for my community because back to back, we've seen what the market would tend to do ahead of time. We were able to analyze the market to wait, and we were able to follow through with reasonable psychology and risk management. So nothing really came and shocked us per se. Nothing really came and like, wow, I never saw it coming. No, it happened. We're always expecting the unexpected to happen. So one of the things, key lessons I have learned in that 2024 is learning is a continuous process for human condition. And whether
Okay.
you're a trader or not, it is something you should embrace solidly because whether you like it or not, you must learn. But you choose whether you learn in the hard way or you learn in a very good way. So 2024 was that kind of year that it was fantastic. It presented a lot of opportunities. There are missed
Yeah.
trades, there are fantastic trades, but above all, it was a win rate. It was a higher win rate when it comes to trade and the growth,
All
the
right.
impact. It was also on the increase level. So it was a fantastic year.
Great, great. And you talking about a learning, okay, learning as part of the education, a bit of it. Do you why? Okay, I just want to also understand this bit because you've trained,
Okay.
thousands of people. I just want to understand why do you think people don't, embrace education, mentorship, coaching in this space? Why do you think people don't really get into that? Because the person go like, okay, for me to pay Yemi maybe hundreds of dollars or thousands of dollars for him to teach me, I won't go there. I'll deposit the money in my account and then go about doing my own thing. But the funny thing is, at the end of the day, they lose the money. So why do you think people don't embrace the educational part of it?
All right. So the parties, as for example, now in 2018 or 20, no, 2019, 2020, I had a friend. I was supposed to train him. So he
Okay,
said, it would be coming for the training. I said, of course, I'm going to charge you. Though we're friends, but
okay,
at least reasonably, I'm going to charge you something you can afford to
yes,
pay. So like, no, come on. I said, if you don't pay, you can't learn. The truth is, our business
yes,
looks so simple until you delve in. So he felt
right,
like the training fee would be too much for him to afford. So he
right,
stopped talking to me until after 9 months or 12 months thereabout. I saw his post one of those days. I made a post and he commented. I was like, okay, guy, you feel odd. What happened? I wasn't talking to you directly though. What happened? So he made it open to me that he has lost over $7,000 between the last time we talked and the present time he was talking to
good,
me. And the truth is, whether he has learned or not, he was still going to lose, but maybe he would have lost less. So the truth is, people think that going for training is about luck, that you can learn and still lose it all. But what they forget to
Right.
know is that the price you pay for not learning properly is more than what you pay for learning properly. If any trainer or any educator or any mentor tells you that when they teach you how to trade the global financial markets, you're not going to lose, it's a pure lie, because even your mentor is still losing, by the way. So I go by that every single
Right.
time.
Good.
So I go by that every
Yes.
single time. But when you're supposed to be losing like $200 and you're able to mitigate that to like $50 to $20, it's a fantastic work. See, you're going to
Right.
lose at a point. At a point, you'll be at 50-50, and at a point, you're going to win more. That is the idea. So
Right.
people think that learning forex market comes with luck, that you're still going to lose anyways. And some other time, they
Right.
think the money is too huge. For example, in some parts, I think 2018, 2019, it was around $5,000 to $8,000 people pay to learn in UK. In Nigeria, you can't charge
Okay.
such. I don't think you can
Ah.
charge such anywhere in Africa. Depend, no matter
No.
the
Yes.
so no matter how big your brand is, so all of those things, they put all that into articulations that help them to remain in a place of ignorance, thinking that they will get luck with it. And you know, the one thing about the market is the moment you come, that welcoming package, that welcoming gift that makes it look awesome that you can win without learning. It makes other people still
Yes.
think so. And the most critical
Yes.
part of that is what people see online every single time. Well, you know, when
Ah.
they, let me say influencers now, when they are
Mm-hmm.
marketing, what they do is, you know, in the forex market, trading is the most littered of the activity. You agree with me? Trading forex
Yes.
market is the most littered activity in the brokerage industry. So there are so many other things that people are doing. There are robot traders, there are robot programmers, EA programmers that are way richer than some traders. To start with, come on, they only build EA, but they are way richer than many traders. You know, so what I'm
Yes.
saying now is they see a lot of things online, and they believe that the simpler they saw those things presented to them on YouTube, for example, they believe that's how
Yes.
simple forex market is. So somebody can just tell you
Yes.
everything you need to trade A to Z. I'm going to teach you with just certain amounts or free. Just join my Telegram
Yes.
channel and that's it. And they see the same person posting up luxurious lifestyle every single day, and they be like, "Wow, come on, so this guy could train me everything I need, can teach me everything on YouTube, and I'm good with that." So
Yes.
all of those misconceptions make people to think that they don't need to invest in forest education, and at the end of the day,
Okay.
they lose more than those that invested actually in forest education.
Which I agree with you 1000%. Why? Because when I was also starting, I didn't even bother myself with education. I was like, oh, Charlie, I needed money, so I was just doing my own things, and I lost like huge
A
sums of
lot.
money. That most of the
Yeah.
time I go like, hey, had I known, if somebody even told me this, if somebody told me this, I'm like, well.
Yeah.
But now, if you ask somebody to pay something little to join in a session for you to give out, you're like, oh no, I will just put the money in my account. But back to the education bit again.
Okay.
You have trained a lot of people. You've met a lot of people through your work with brokerages and all, and students or traders. What do you think is the? I mean, we are talking education. So in the
Yeah.
education, which part of the education do you think is a problem when it comes to trading, or the people you've met or you've trained? Is it a psychology bit? Is it a risk management bit? Is it a strategies bit? Which part of the education do you think is a problem?
Okay. So generally speaking, talking from experience, the student I've trained and student that someone else trained before I became their mentor, one thing I've noticed is strategy has never really been much of an issue for traders, because anybody can grab a strategy, master it in a week, in a month, or
Oh,
two or three.
okay.
But you see, psychology is a lifetime thing. Even many mentors are
Ah,
still battling with it. For example, impatience.
yes.
A lot of mentors still battle with that. They may not just come out to tell you. Somebody may analyze the market for
Yes.
you that this will go 300 pips, and the person himself is just ready to jump into the trade and grab just 50 pips and jump out. And when you ask, they, and when you ask question
Yes.
like, "Come on, you analyze this thing for 300 pips. Come on, why did you jump out?" Say, "I'm okay, I'm okay." But deep down, let me tell you that I would have waited. But that's not a problem. The most important part is knowing who we are, knowing how we are built and how we are wired. And that, a lot of that goes into the psychology. The most
Right.
important part where traders find it so difficult to really blend in is the risk management. Come on. I've not seen any trainer, including myself, that can perfectly train risk management. I've wondered, most of my students, they do so well. 2020, I trained, no, sorry, 2021, I trained a guy, and before we finished the session, the particular schedule, The guy outlined, the guy came, he said he has made profit on one trade, and I calculated this guy actually made like 78% of his account. So I screamed
Wow.
like, wow, guy,
Yes. Yeah.
what's happening? The guy said,
Yeah. What's
you know, that
happening here? Because
what's
78%.
what's
Yes.
happening? Yes. I'm like, what's happening, guy? So like,
Yeah.
that strategy you talk about, the RSI using it with demand and supply zone and blah 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 blah. I've been
Yeah.
practicing it and it's been going well on them. So I hit it hard on my life account. Like, come on, guy, that's not how we do it. I'm happy that
It's going to cause a problem.
yes, I'm happy. And he wasn't trading with small lot size. He was actually trading with, I think, 0.4 thereabout. So he really
Ah.
did well. So I felt like
Yes.
if this is actually how we do it, you won't see some of us here because we train you what
Mm-hmm.
we do. Someone like me, I train you what I do. So if it's not working
Yes.
for me, there is no way I can train it. So I said, please,
Right.
the only reason I can smile and share this experience and moments with you is because it went well. Had it been it went
Right.
south and you lose like 70% of your account, I will feel so bad.
Yes.
And I won't even
Yes.
be glad that to tell people that I train you. So, and
Mm-hmm.
this guy is a very loyal mentee to me. He is like to the core. But one thing I've realized is no matter how submissive they are, there are certain things you cannot teach actually in the market. The market is the best
Okay.
teacher for those things. Risk management is one of
Okay.
those. Lot size
Okay.
calculation and all of those is part of it. You say the psychology
Right.
part, yes, we own that. We're going to develop. But you say the risk management, the market is the perfect teacher for the risk management
Yeah.
because there are so many
Exactly.
factors that will hinder traders not to perfect their risk management. One of it is
Mm-hmm.
overconfidence. Someone that has been trading
Mm-hmm.
successfully well for like 3 weeks back to back, having winning streak with 0.01, we definitely feel like he's not a king kong. So one day we
It's
just jump on the trade
invisible.
with he's invincible. So one day we just jump on a trade with 0.5. And one thing with market, that consistency we talk about affects us at every level. The moments
Mm-hmm.
you have a change, that you have -$7, you're not scared. Now, just with 70 pips that gave you $7 on Euro USD 0.01 lot size.
Yes.
With that 70 pips against you now, you say -$70. Come on, you will lose everything. You will lose the confidence.
It's not
And
pa- exactly.
that's it.
It's crazy, yeah. So like you rightly said, so it means that almost every like aspect, like with the risk management, psychology, they all play a role, like you rightly said. And
Certainly,
there are
yes.
problems in, yeah. You see, there's a saying that you can't give what you don't have. Okay.
True.
So for you to be a very good trainer, training a lot of people, it means you have been through the mill yourself. You faced all these challenges because you can't give what you don't have. You can't tell somebody
Certainly.
about risk management if you yourself have not even failed in that space before.
Of course, certainly.
So we would like you to tell us about your trading journey. Like, when did you start? What got you attracted to it? Some of the losses, like the bad side, the worst sides, and where you wouldn't want to even wish for your enemy. We would want to know how you started, who introduced you to, and some of the losses. And then after the losses, now you are doing well. Tell us about what transitioned you from the losses to the good side. But okay, let me help you with the whole process. So first of
Okay.
all, take us through how you got into trading. Okay, what piqued
Okay.
your interest? Yeah.
Okay, so basically, sometimes when I was in school, I graduated from Federal University of Agriculture, Abeokuta, Ogun State, Nigeria.
Okay.
I graduated as animal scientist. But look at my life today. The only animals I'm dealing with is the bull and the bears. The bull,
Yes.
come
So
on.
you are still practicing.
I'm still practicing,
Yes.
yes, I'm still practicing, but in
Yeah.
finance now. So the transition
Yes.
alone is something that is inspiring to thousands of people. That how do you move from agri to finance and really core finance,
Yes.
not just at the tip of forex, the core finance part
Yes.
of it. So one
Yes.
thing about me is I love to make money and I want it in a
Mm-hmm.
legal way. I've always been
Right.
a fan of making a difference without going through the hustle of a traditional way of doing things. So something
Mm-hmm.
like that has set me apart from a very tender age. So when I was in university,
Okay.
there was a guy that was supposed to teach me how to trade cryptocurrency. But that year, some
Okay.
rumors went around that the guy was a Yahoo boy, and I just picked my race like, come on. So I missed that opportunity. But the moment I finished from university, the moment I graduated 2016, 2015. So as I
Okay.
got out there, I started attending seminars for cryptocurrencies, for forex trading, and all of. In fact, I started investing heavily in cryptocurrencies then. Bitcoin,
Okay.
Ethereum, they were booming that time, and One guy hits me up and say, "Guy, I realize you love to make money. You love dollars." I say, "Yeah, of course. Anything, just bring me on." He said, "There's forex trading. I promise you, you can make up to $400 every single week by just depositing $100 in the account." What? I can do that. Come on. So that time, I
In
think a
which
dollar was.
in which year was this?
This was 2017, early 2017.
Okay,
Early
okay,
20. I finished university. I graduated 2015. I served for a year,
okay,
2016, all of through that. And the moment I was back from service, 2017, early 2017, I was just right at this. So I like, guy,
okay,
come on. So in Nigeria then, I think the exchange rate was about 360 per dollar. The guy even charged me
okay.
$400 per 400 naira per dollar. I said, I don't care. Come on, eat this up. I stuck the account, but it took me some time before I realized that this guy was putting me through multi-level marketing. It was with one popular academy, online academy. Then they're very popular, but I won't mention the name. Okay, so
Okay.
it pulled me through, and I figured out like, okay, they drop signal. Sometimes I may be sleeping in the middle of the night, 12 a.m., 1 a.m. I just pump buy this. I'll jump in a buy. So
Yeah.
I figured out like from what I funded, I've lost like 30% of it. The first time I made $4 profit, I was literally dancing on the road or on the street of Port Harcourt. Like, come on, $4 without sweating. But immediately I
Yes.
realized how much I've lost in my site, in my secret place. And I felt like, okay, you know what? I'm going to sit down and learn this thing perfectly well. I'm going to go
Right.
all out. I'm going to do all this. So that month ended, the guy reached out to me and asked me to resubscribe because the more I resubscribe, the more he get money for his own marketing. So I
Yes.
told him, I said, I get the
Yes.
scope now. Don't worry yourself. I'm going to learn this. I am going to learn this to any level, any extent. I'm going to understand it and I will give my
Okay.
own shot. Let me be the one giving the shot and let me be the one
Right.
responsible for the outcome of my shot. So that's how I
Right.
ended. So since then, I've been
Okay.
learning through self-learning, of course. Sometimes there are sometimes I bought materials too from some of those guys. Then that time things were
Okay.
getting better. It was getting easy. But trust me, sometimes you still buy materials of over 200, $300 only to see 18 kilobytes material, 17 pages, and that's all.
Yes.
And all of those journeys, they were just part of it. Anyways, I do tell people. So the point
Yeah.
is, after some time, I keep learning. Till now, I'm still learning. Okay. After some time,
Yes.
I gathered all the information necessary to become a better trader, and I figured it
Mm-hmm.
out. Like, come on, there are a lot of people that do not understand this thing. I was even
Mm-hmm.
lucky I could grasp information faster at some level. I learned how to
Yes.
calculate pips, three decimal quotation pips for like JPY, USD JPY. I learned how to calculate it on stand. I was standing and the person
Okay.
just said it. You just put that zero and dot for here and that's it. I I can't forget.
Yeah.
She was a lady
Right.
and I grabbed that
Okay.
information in less than 20 seconds. It took me time. I
Okay.
practiced it. I perfected it. One day I sat
Okay.
down. I was like, if I'm going to tell someone else, it may definitely take them days to grasp this information. So I figured that
Yes.
out. I swallowed stones when I was supposed to be swallowing it in peace, in bits like
Ah.
sand. So I
Right.
sat down and I tried to pieces all this information. As a talk leader that I am, I pieces them in a way that people can interpret them in their own best way of understanding. So this is how I
Right.
put out this information now. So that is how I became an educator. So when people ask
Ah.
questions like, if you make so much profit as a trader, why do you not choose to train people? And my answer is
Yeah.
always, if I'm not training people, probably you won't meet me today. Most likely,
Yes.
if I was going to be
Yes.
a trainer or a teacher, I would have resided in my university and start as maybe a deputy lecturer and all of those assistant lecturer. But I never felt I was going to teach anybody anything. But I have passion to make
Yes.
money, and I knew what I went through, so I started to put this out and help other people. That's how my journey
Ex-
started.
Exactly. And you see, when, like you're saying, people feel like, oh, if you can trade that much, why do you want to train people? Why do you want to teach people? The thing
Yeah,
is that sometimes when you look at the things you went through for
yeah,
just being ignorant about, like you said, maybe how to calculate pips, how to pip value, where to place a stop loss, you wouldn't want somebody to go through that. But
no, 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 no.
unfortunately, people have mixed feelings or whatever about it, and that's a
True.
nice story about that. But see, I've interacted with a lot of people. Majority have lost money.
Yeah.
Have you lost some money at some point? How did you
Okay.
feel? And how
Okay.
bad was it? Yes.
Okay, I've lost money at some point. Yes, when I was learning, when I was coming up, I think the most
Yes.
losses I've ever lost so far were in my coming days, in the beginning of my journey. That was the only time I
Yes.
really lost money and I felt bad because those times I was still struggling finding my feet in the market. You know, sometimes you
Right.
lose money, you don't even know what happened, why you lost. Sometimes I remember, I can't forget, there was a time I was actually going to get my driver's license. I was at the office to get
Okay.
the driver's license. I was on a particular trade. That trade has been on a
Yeah.
drawdown for some times, and all of a sudden it came
Right.
down to I think about minus 300 all the way from where it was, and I was so happy.
Ah.
Something told me
Okay.
close this trade on minus $300 and move on. I felt like, come on, if it can come from all the way from where it's coming from, minus
It
$300. By the
can
time it
do.
gets to minus $100, out. So I was still in that thinking when they called me on the register to come and pick up my car. And before I finish all of that, do the registration, I got down from the staircase. I checked. Come on, I was like, come on, don't
Everything
ask
gone.
me. I should have closed this trade. So that regret, it was really there. I think that was the only time I can really say I lost money in the market that really pained me because I knew I
Yes.
could have made it better. One, the loss I
Yes.
incurred was based on knowledge gap. I did not have all the necessary knowledge it took, and my psychology has not been is not strong. Was not strong, so to say. Was not this strong
Right.
as at that time. My
Right.
knowledge in risk management was not even this strong at all. So there are so many
Right.
reasons that I incurred those losses, and at the same time, I had the opportunity to mitigate the loss. But because of emotion, I responded to negatively. Of course,
Yes.
that also took advantage of me. So that was the time, and that
Yes.
was 2018. Yeah, that was 2018.
Ah.
That was
No.
2018. So
Yeah. Before we even come to how you then transition, like you use those, like they say, the stones that were thrown at you, how you were
yeah,
able to use them to now to your favor that you are a better person now. Before we even get there, you as a Nigerian brother, okay, as a
yes,
Ghanaian brother, you know we believe in spirituality more,
yeah,
you know.
yeah, yeah.
So let's take a practical example. What you just said. So you felt
Mhm.
like okay, no, you said you had or you felt you said something
Felt,
that you had to close
felt,
the trade. Felt.
yes.
Would you attribute that to spirit? Because for us, typically, we are more of oh maybe some spirits. I heard something saying something to me, or you attribute it to psychology. Like how? What would you attribute that to? What you
Okay.
felt like you felt that you could have just closed the trade and then move on. What would you attribute? Would you attribute to spirit? Would you attribute that to psychology, or what would you want to attribute that feeling
Okay.
to? Yeah.
Okay, so basically, in Africa, we are very spiritual people. We love to attribute most things to spiritual. I made a video sometimes and I was talking about it. All this faith, hope, spirituality, prayers, speaking in tongues, word of grace, word of hope, encouragement. Please just put them aside when it comes to forex market because there are forces that there are forces. It's actually funny, but that's true. There are forces that are bigger than that in the market.
Right.
I've trained almost all the professions I can mention. I've had like at
Okay.
least one representative of those professions that I've trained, from military
Okay.
to clergymen. I've trained a pastor, a reverend. Big churches, by the way, and I know how
Right.
these people battle with. I know how these people battle with trades. So for you to even say you want to learn forex, that means you don't know it. So when you lose
Right.
a lot, you need to come out because it's not about you praying out, show me, will it buy, will it sell? There's a way you can go about, people can share their personal experiences with that, but I personally do not believe because I know something certainly. This, our brain that we have, is actually spiritual. That's the truth. No matter
Yes.
how spiritual you are, if you cannot use the brain when
Yes.
you're supposed to use it, what's the essence of the spirituality? So the part
Yes.
of the psychology, I we talk about your body tell, your instinct, so to say, your instinct. If you That's why
Yes.
sometimes you will set a take profit to like 50 pips, and somehow you just find out the market has just been ranging around that 20 pips, and let me just close the trade. My body is telling me like, let me just close the trade, and you close the trade, and
Yes.
before you know it, the market actually reversed to a price you set your stop loss, smash it
Yes.
before you now start
Yes.
going back to your stake. So which means you could have actually lost everything you've made in the market and lost it to your stop
Right.
loss. So what actually
Right.
told you to close that trade at that point in time? So basically, it could be your instinct. Spirituality of a thing,
Okay.
the context of that in Africa, people will actually misinterpret it and they will really go
Okay.
wrong most of the times. So that is my own
Right.
opinion on that.
Yes, which I understand that I share in the same I mean we are on the same page because I've trained a lot of people that I think one lady she was like, ooh, at the point when I said the stop loss, I started praying. I started praying that God, don't let it hit the stop loss, God don't
Come on.
no. In the
Oh,
markets, no, God is God. Please
that
allow
is, you
God.
get,
And then
yes.
set your stop loss or whatever, set your
Of
risk and
course,
all.
because
But I
you are
mean,
God's child. I'm God's child. You are buying Great Britain pounds
exactly.
US dollar for based on what you
Good,
saw, and me, I'm taking a
good,
sell based on what I saw. So we're calling the same
good,
God. So we God really answer
good.
if it's not partial.
Exactly, exactly.
So
Like I've
God
always
will
been
be
saying,
God. The market will be market. We just have to play our part.
simple. Yeah. So
Yeah.
so now before we even get to the latter part of this conversation, so
Okay.
after losing, how did you use that weakness to become your strength now that you have become a better trader, an educator, and then impacting the lives of people? What
Oh,
changed?
okay. So basically, when I was losing, I was actually making some profit, but I was losing more.
Okay.
So I knew
Okay.
that at a point I was losing more than how I was losing at other point. So I knew, okay, the
Okay.
loss in ratio has reduced. So that means it could get to
Okay.
a 50-50 level. And that means it could get to a
Okay.
point in time I will make more money. So the only
Okay.
difference I see in my self-evaluation as a then was my learning. I kept learning
Okay.
and I realized that I kept doing better. There are many times then that I'll analyze markets for students that I won't take it because I lack the confidence, and they will come back
Oh,
and tell
okay.
me, like, remember one lady, I think that was Great Britain pounds Canadian dollar. The lady
Okay.
just took the trade and she just left it. I won't analyze that market will do a gap up before jumping down. And that was on a Friday, and she came back
Right.
on a Tuesday when we had the class. She already made like 180 pips, and she was thanking me. She
Ah.
even bought me a gift. I'm like, come on, I analyze this. So all of those things, I saw that these are weaknesses at my own part. That if I really need to tell people to buy something, I must also be willing to buy. Otherwise, if that is not what I do not trade, I have to say it out.
Yeah.
So those are the things. So
Yes.
I started investing more in the timing to learn. I started buying more
Okay.
materials. I started sitting down to really read, and most importantly, I started practicing more ever than before. So before I knew it,
Uh,
I could answer some of the questions theoretically and practically. Before I knew it, I could
Practically.
actually analyze the market on my own and wait for the market to do its thing, and it goes well. So out of 10 times, if I'm saying 6 to 7 times market is doing exactly how I analyze, I felt better. So when
Yes.
it comes to classes, I think exactly what I can do in the market. And to God be the glory, so far so well. I'm still learning, and it has been a greater high to greater, higher high to higher high to higher high. It's been a bullish ride all along.
Exactly. So it's just a continuous self development, continuous
Yes,
learning, and all of that.
exactly.
Yeah,
Yes, yes.
it's nice having you here. But before we even go, you have
All
done the
right.
trading part of it, the educational part of it. People
Yeah.
also wonder how can they also work with these brokers, because you have worked with them and you are still working with them. How do you also transition from, okay, normal trader to working with a broker? What's that process?
Okay, so personally, as I told you, I have passion to train people, right? And most of the
Yeah.
times, I think more than 70% of the people I've trained, in fact, more than 80% of the people I've trained, they're actually from recommendation. Like, this guy
Okay.
trained me some years ago and it's fantastic. The guy is good
Okay.
and you can just eat him up and just somebody send me your contact. I can reach out to you. This is what I want and this is what
Okay.
I want. And we just get started. So I felt like,
Okay.
okay, that is good, but it cannot be in mass. I was looking at how I can stop training people at any day. I'm naturally a teacher, but there's a
Okay.
dimension to how you teach when it comes to forex trading. It's that you position
Yes.
yourself in a place whereby you can see the people you want to deliver the value to. One thing is to have the
Right.
value, the other part is to position to where you can actually deliver the value. So that means you need an
Yes.
audience. So for me, I felt
Yes.
I could not get the kind of mass audience I'm looking for personally, only if I have to start an
Okay.
academy, which was not in my plan. So I looked out like,
Okay.
okay, I think brokers have a better positioning to reach out to most people that are directly into the business. And myself, I want to
Yes.
know more about the brokerage industry to have the experience and to really
Okay.
leverage more on the opportunities on the internet technology and all of that. So that is how I
Okay.
transitioned from being a solo trader to being an educator with brokers. Currently, I'm not with any broker right now, but I've worked on tech,
Okay.
as you said. Yes. So then
Okay.
we had students, we had clients. I teach them, I train them, I mentor, and all of that. They don't come in ones, they don't come in tens, they come in hundreds, so to say. So with
Yeah.
that now,
Yeah.
it helps me to really feel fulfilled. Like exactly, this is what I'm looking for. I've spoken in
Yeah.
to a fortune massive number of like 1,000 before. I've spoken to just three
Okay.
people before. I've spoken to just 20
Ah.
people before. But I
Right.
do not feel different in all of those times because all I felt is I'm impacting lives and I see the
Yes.
impact in the future. I'm so grateful to God that I'm privileged to serve. and that is how it
Ex-
has been for me.
exactly, and it's good to give back. It's not easy
Yes,
because funny enough, when people are coming in, you as an experienced guy, you have a fair idea of the challenges they will go through. But you know, like you
yes,
just know that Master, this guy is going to make some losses at some points. Risk management,
right,
lot sizes is also going to play a key role. So you have a fair
true.
idea. So you wouldn't
Yeah,
want to sit down to see a fellow or a friend or maybe a
true.
family member go through all of this. So it's
No,
good.
no,
You are
no, no,
doing
no.
a great thing, and we also
Thank you,
appreciate it from Ghana and other side of this world. But before
thank
we
you very
go,
much.
we'd like you
Yes,
to
sir.
share with us your coming or upcoming projects, okay, and then your social media handles.
Okay, thank you. Most importantly, my project ever has always been to impact people. Every year, I have set of people I impact in the global financial market, at least
Okay.
without a dime. Okay, and of course, I have
Okay.
my regular classes for private mentorship and all of that. I do that at the same time. By working with a broker, I do have massive opportunity to reach out to more people to train, and of course, I do
Okay.
get engagements to come and talk. The privilege to come and talk at different seminars concerning
Okay.
finance and forex most especially. I still have all of those
Okay.
projects coming up. And this year also is going to be a fantastic one because I already have some places I'm going to talk. Probably I may come to Ghana, Kenya this year. Probably.
Ah,
Still in the pipeline. Still in the
please look
pipeline.
out for me whenever you are in Ghana, please.
No problem. I'm going to keep in touch. Definitely, I'm going to
All
keep in
right,
touch. So
sure.
I believe all of
Sure.
those are still coming. So for my social media
Yeah.
handles on LinkedIn,
Yeah.
I'm Yemi Olaleye. Then you see some of those
Yes.
titles, CMSA, that's Capital Market and
Yeah.
Security Analyst. I got that from CFI.
Okay.
And
Oh,
on
okay.
Instagram, I'm OPYDOC, OPDOC at
Okay.
OPYDOC. The same thing
Okay.
on my Twitter, that is X. The same thing on the
Okay.
TikTok. Yes, the
Oh,
same thing.
okay.
So Effective
Okay.
Forex Hub is where I send my analysis to on YouTube. And all of that,
Okay.
there are still things I'm still doing and I'm trying to still impact more people. And I'm privileged to serve this time. Thank you very much, sir.
Right. Thank you very much, Yemi. We really appreciate your time, and then we'll stay in touch. Share with us whenever you have new projects so that we all push in this course. Thank you very much.
All
I
right. Thank
appreciate
you
it.
so much, sir. It's a privilege to be here. Thank you
Sure.
so much for your great works. Have a
Sure.
wonderful day,
All
sir.
right. Sure, Yemi.
Yes, sir.
Bye.
Bye,
Yeah.
sir.